So I have some ideas for some abilities for Madden 24. Real quick though, this gameplay actually in the background, this is actually Madden 21 gameplay. I was like, you know what? Why not switch it up? Throw some throwback gameplay up in here because you know what? Madden 21 was a solid game. Yeah, man, I got some ability ideas for Madden 24. We're most likely gonna see some new abilities in the game. Probably not a lot. I mean, the last couple years, since they've done the whole AP thing, we haven't really seen a lot of like differences over the years, but we've definitely seen some different abilities. So I think that we'll see a few new ones, but I got some ideas, and all these ones I'm not gonna lie are good. I wouldn't give you an idea of an ability that sucked or just wasn't good. Like, these are really good ones, and if any of you guys have some ideas and abilities that you thought of that might not be a bad idea, go ahead, drop them down in the comments. Let's hear them. Because I feel like everybody's got their own ideas, you know what I mean? So enough talking though, let's get straight into it. For our first ability, it's going to be for the wide receivers. It's going to be called toe tap. I think you see where this ability is going, right? Receivers with this ability will basically get better sideline animations. They will be almost guaranteed, as they should, well, let me not say as they should, but they will damn near always get their feet in bounds. Like, you know how many times you throw a pass on the sideline, you A catch it, and it's going to be preferably for the A catches. Like, it'll just give you great A catch animations, kind of like the one you just saw in that guy catch. Like, A catching actually used to be really good. I don't know what happened to it, but basically this ability will bring back the good A catching. So I think it's not a bad idea, especially after the year we just had where I've never seen A catching this bad. So I think it's solid. Our next ability is also for the wide receivers. It's called Fake Out Elite. Basically how this ability would work is if a receiver is on a route that has some type of double move, it will basically give them an increased chance to just get separation from the defender. So let's say you put a zig out there. Let's say you put one of those, those double move streaks where he goes up, goes out, goes back in. It'll basically just give them extreme separation, and they will get wide open on it if you, decide, hey, I'm going to press this guy and, tight man coverage. And you're probably thinking, well, that's how route tech's supposed to work, but not really, because a lot of those routes, if you press the hell out of them, I'm not gonna lie, it's over with. So yeah. Next ability is Free Form Elite. So this ability is obviously for the quarterbacks, and what this ability will do if you put it on him is any pass that you freeform, basically you will just get way better pass. Like, it'll, like, how so many times you freeform it and it'll say perfect accuracy. Like, it just says that so much, perfect accuracy, perfect accuracy. Basically, if it says perfect accuracy, it's going to be perfect accuracy. So it's going to give you, it's going to be way more accurate freeforms. This next one isn't really a new ability. It's actually adding something to ability, adding something to evasive. I think leapfrog should just get added to evasive. Just have jukebox, spin cycle, and leapfrog in there. I don't see why not, because having to pay for leapfrog, with how they did the AP at least this year, it's like, and evasive was really good. I say just add it to evasive. I don't see why not. We got our first defensive ability here, and it's actually called Run Stuffer Elite. Basically what it is, it's just inside stuff and outside stuff combined into one ability for a D lineman. And this actually could be usable because there are, depending on where you're, what kind of, defense you run, like a 3-4 and stuff like that, you could, depending where you have, like, the lineman you have this on, it would actually be able to work on inside runs and outside runs. So it actually could be pretty good. So it's not a bad idea. This next one is called Fast Hands. It's another one for defense. This would actually be for the cornerbacks. How it basically would work is like an inside stuff, but for cornerbacks. So they would get off wide receiver blocks on the outside, almost like inside stuff. Now, the only situation I could really see this is, let's say, for example, you're going up against a guy that's running the ball a lot, and I don't know if they're going to keep the halftime adjustment thing next year, but let's say they have the halftime adjustment thing. Basically, it's something I could see you maybe activating on a corner at halftime to help kind of stop the run. But besides that, it definitely wouldn't be something I'm like, okay, I gotta have out there. Depending on how much AP they make it cost or something like that. I'm just putting the idea out there. I don't know about how much to make these things cost. Got another defensive ability. This one is called Unblockable. Basically how it's going to work is going to be for the D lineman, and it's basically going to be double or nothing and Edge Threat Elite combined into one ability and just be like both of those on crack, but the thing is, it's gonna cost more AP. Like, it's not gonna be cheap. Like, it's gonna be something you have to legit spend a little bit AP on. And I feel like that's something I'd like to actually see in Madden 24, to where, like, okay, if I want to spend a little bit more AP on this ability to make my defensive line get more pressure, that's going to take away from my secondary. I'm going to have less KOs out there and things like that. Like, that's real football. Like, you know, in real football, nobody has everything. Like, if you have this, then maybe you might not have that. Like, it takes away from something, and that actually creates a little bit of a skill gap. Okay, you want to create a great defensive line, then your secondary is not going to have, you know, all the KOs and stuff like that. So I think it'll be a pretty good idea. Maybe very annoying to go against, but, you know, let's say they got this on, and like I said, they don't have as many KOs, so you can still throw a lot of different routes and just do a lot of different things. Next ability is called quarterback keep, and basically how this ability is going to work is, it's obviously for the quarterback, and it's just better. It's a better fast break, so it'll give you the better blocking on QB designed runs. And what it's also going to do is it will give your quarterback complete control on option runs. There's so many times where, like, I'm talking about off the initial handoff, you can control your quarterback. There's no, like, little instance where you can't move with him. And this will also lead to better better blocking on quarterback draws. If you don't know, fast break does not work on QB draws. It never has. I don't know why. Make it work on quarterback draws, and make this ability also work to where when you run a quarterback draw, you just have complete control over your quarterback. That's what it gives you on these design QB runs. Let you control your quarterback. We actually have an offensive lineman ability. This would be for your center, and it would be called outmatched. Basically, how this is going to work, if you have this ability on your center, let's say you come out, for example, you guys know my offense, ace offset. Maybe you come out in some strong, you know, some I form, just a very heavy package. And let's say your opponent comes out in dollar, or he comes out in, you know what I mean, something just very soft, just dollar. Honestly, dollar is the softest thing there is. But let's say he comes out in dollar. If you have the outmatched ability on your center, basically you're going to weak box your opponent. I'm not going to say how it used to be back in the day where everybody's getting pancaked, but, you know, guys will get thrown on their ass. Like, that's what's going to happen. And it just, you know, it's basically a better way, because how weak boxing was so inconsistent back in the day. Like, sometimes you would get weak boxed when you shouldn't get weak boxed. Basically, it just makes it to where weak boxing works how it should basically work. This next ability is actually an X Factor. It's called My House, and basically you can put this X Factor on anybody. It doesn't matter who it is, it can go on anybody. And how this thing will activate is, if you go up 21 on your opponent, basically all your X Factors will activate. I know there's some home field stadiums where it actually works like that, but I don't understand how any of that really works. So it would basically be something that would guarantee that you get all your X Factors to light up. And like I said, you could put it on anybody. So quarterback, running back, anybody. As long as you have it on somebody and you go up 21 points, basically you get all your X Factors. I don't think it's a terrible idea. I was gonna actually think of something to where, like, if I go up 21, like, it just backs the guy out the game, but this is more realistic. Next ability is actually for the linebackers. It's called Firm Stance. How this works is, when offensive linemen get to the second level to try to block a linebacker, how it'll work is the linebacker, it almost work like an inside stuff. When the lineman runs up to him, he'll just kind of like be like, get off me, get out of my way. Now, the counter this would be nasty streak. This would only work against offensive linemen that don't have nasty streak. If they have nasty streak, then it would kind of be like how inside stuff is versus secure protector. Like, they just go one-on-one as even matchup, whoever wins. That's how it would be with it like that. So that would kind of be the counter thing. I think this actually be a really good ability, and it would definitely make more people want to use linebackers. Even though we all want to use linebackers at the end of the day, it's just, you know, the whole lurker thing. Next ability is for running backs and fullbacks. It's going to be called Pass Protector Pro. Basically, how this ability, well, I feel like I've said basically a lot of this video, but guess what? That's what I do. I say, I don't have very big vocabulary, so sometimes I say a lot of the same word. But basically, for the running backs and fullbacks in the backfield with Pass Protector Pro, when you pass block them, obviously it's called Pass Protector Pro. When you block them, they'll just get way better animations. And by animations, I mean the chop block animation. It'll basically guarantee they get the chop block animation. We all know that's the best animation that you can get out of your running back when they have to pass block, because it basically guarantees takes the defender out the play. The next ability is Delay Fade Specialist. This will obviously be for the wide receivers, maybe tight ends, I don't know. How this will work is, you know, you put a delay fade out there and he just runs a delay fade how it should be run and gets lots of separation. It would almost kind of work how short out elite works. Let's say it's press man coverage, you got delay fade space, delay fade specialist. I think I almost said space creator, I'm not gonna lie. You can even call it that though, but maybe we could have an ability called Space Creator. I don't know. But delay, yeah. So you put delay phase specialist out there against Press Man, and he's burning him. And it would work how Short Out Elite works. You know what I mean? Because Short Out Elite, nobody would think Short Out Elite works how it actually works, and that's another thing they got to fix next year. They need to put the legit description of how abilities work, because a casual player that plays Madden doesn't know shit about Short and Elite and Short Out Elite. Next ability is Throw Out a Sack. In Madden 21, this gameplay you guys are actually watching, this game had Throw Out of Sacks. Obviously, it's no longer in the game. Well, actually, I think it's in like franchise or like stuff like that, but it's not a MUT anymore. But give players the option if they want to have Throw Out of Sacks back. You know, I don't know how I feel about it. You know, Throw Out of Sacks. Sometimes it was really good, and then, sometimes it was really bad. So, some people, it doesn't hurt to give people the option. That guy literally just scored with 0 seconds and 3-man deep, whatever, but Madden 21, this is our last ability right here, and it's called Change of Scenery. How this ability works, you can basically, that's our favorite word in this video. You gotta understand that. Basically, you can change any player's position and change it to anywhere, whatever you want to change it to. And when you change it to that position, they get treated as if that's their true position, as if, like, for example, Derrick Henry's a running back. Let's say I decided I want to change Deshaun Jackson to running back. When I change him to running back, he will literally be treated as if he's a running back. I'm not saying his abilities change, but his position on the field. So what I mean by that is you would be able to audible to different packages. How this game works, let's say I went ahead and subbed a running back in at wide receiver. Let's say I came out in bunch and I subbed a running back in at receiver. I wouldn't be able to audible to trips tight end, wide trips, and formations like that, because now the package it says I have in there is 2 running backs, a tight end, you know what I mean? Like, the package changed. But with this ability, I'm changing it's going to treat the guy like he's actually that position. So you'd be able to audible around still, and it would treat him like that. I don't see why not. It would just be something fun to mess around with. Most of these guys, you change the position, they wouldn't be good at it anyway. But obviously there'd be some guys, for example, sometimes they drop out of position guys, and it's like, well, why doesn't he actually have a card at this position yet? Ronnie Brown, for example, imagine he comes out, he didn't even get a running back card this year. Imagine I could go ahead and just change him to a running back. He actually would have been really good. So, that's just something. I feel like that's definitely not a bad. It's probably one of the best abilities on this list, to be honest. Those are pretty much all the abilities I could think of. There's definitely more. There always is. There's really an unlimited amount of ideas of abilities that you could put out there. Like I said in the beginning of the video, let me know some ideas you guys got. I'm sure you guys got some good ideas. Some of them might be good. Some of them are probably terrible, but let me hear them. You know what I mean? Voice your guys' opinion down in the comments. I personally think, how many new abilities will we legit see in Madden 24? I don't know. I don't think it's going to be much. You look at 22 from 23, it was really only a few. And then the new ones they did add, did we really use them? I'm trying to think. I really don't think we did. So I don't know. I don't think it's going to be a crazy jump. But these are just some ideas I like to put out there. I feel like I'm a guy that has ideas, so I wanted to voice my ideas. You guys let me know down in the comments, man. I'm excited for Madden 24, and what you guys think of this Madden 21 gameplay? And these future videos I'm doing, like this summer leading up to 24, do you guys want to see like more throwback Madden gameplay in the background? Because I can do it. I got a pretty good amount. Let me know down in the comments, man, and pray for Madden 24.